Now I want to ask you some question. What is the difference between structured programming and object-oriented programming? Can anybody tell me about the difference? It's very important because now in programming too, you're gonna use object-oriented. So why we use object-oriented? And what is the difference between object-oriented and structured programming? Can you see this figure? Okay, this figure differentiate between the procedural programming and object-oriented programming. Okay, so I can see questions here in chat for organization. Okay, I can see answer for organization. It's not only for organization. If you write a program, you in the structured programming, you're gonna write like int x, int y, int z, and you're gonna define like function, and you're gonna pass x and y and z for this function, but there is no guarantee that x and y and z is related to that function. Programming, okay. Okay, from George. Okay, object is a programming paradigm based on concept. Okay, let we can see in practical now. We're gonna see in practical about the why we use object oriented and what's the difference between procedural programming and object oriented programming. In this figure, we have a global data. What's the meaning of a global data? It's just data inside our program, and we're gonna pass each data to each function 1, function 2, function 3. But there is no guarantee that is data is linked to function 1 or function 2 or function 3. But in object oriented, we're gonna create an object, okay, and we're gonna put inside this object data and function, okay. So we guarantee that linking between data and function inside object. Now, before we can start, I'm gonna recommend for all to use VS Code for Java because it's a wonderful framework. Okay, rather than we can extend the framework by adding more extension for Java, for Python, for any programming language. It's a ranked one framework for any programming, even for machine learning, even for mobile application. It's a wonderful framework. So if you want to download VS Code, you have to make two steps. First steps, you're gonna go through VS Code, VS Code, and you have to download the framework. Okay. After you download it, you have to make another step for Java uh, enabled for VS Code by pressing Java for VS Code. It's gonna be in that link, Java in VS Code, and you can download. If you are Mac, you're gonna download for Mac OS, and if for Windows, you're gonna download and to install coding package for Java. It's a huge package for Java that enable you to develop Java programs inside VS Code. Okay, okay. To start our programming in VS Code, we're gonna open VS Code. Okay, let let and we're gonna open new project for VS Code in Java. Okay, how can we do that in Mac? In Mac device, we're gonna press Command Shift B. Again, we're gonna use Command Shift B and write Java, create Java project. Okay, no build tools. We don't need any build tools now, and we're gonna choose our location file, just desktop, and this our location, and we can here put our name of Java project. For example, my first project, and press enter. It's gonna continue until finish the processing, and you're gonna see something like that. VS Code library for our library, and the most important thing is source code files. Inside source code file, we're gonna see app.java. Okay, okay, don't show again. Dismiss. Okay, this our okay, this our whole main screen. It's app, the name of main class, and inside our program, we're gonna see the main method. For any programming language, each project contain only one main methods. It's something like the engine in the car. Every car have only one engine. Okay, the same thing for our project. In any programming language, whatever Java, whatever Python, we should have only one main method. It's okay. So if I want to run this program, I'm gonna run without debugging. So it's gonna print hello world. So our coding is now work perfect. Any question until now? Okay. To differentiate between the object-oriented and structured programming that we have used in, okay, Abdurrahman Siddi.
I have a question.
Okay,
You mentioned open a project on Mac, but how do we do it on Windows?
in Windows, the same thing in Windows. How to, you install VS Code in Java with Windows?
No, for the project, like for
For
the
the
where
project
we
in
click
Win
complete
for the project, control Shift B instead of Command Shift B in Windows. Control Shift B to start a new project in Java. For any project in VS Code, gonna press Command Shift B for Mac, and for Windows Control Shift B. Okay,
and then it shows no
and
build
create new
tools.
Java project. Yeah,
So I press on no build tools.
no build tools. And if you gonna start struggling with shortcut, you're gonna press on this label and command plate. It's the same thing. Okay,
Okay.
okay, you can do with shortcut, it's okay, and with this symbol and open command plate, and it's okay for you. Now we're gonna differentiate between structured programming and object-oriented programming. Let me explain the difference by implemented simple program that detects the maximum number between three numbers. Could anybody tell me how I write the program in Java? I need to receive input for three numbers, and the program will select the maximum number between three numbers. Okay, let me explain that. For take an input from the user in Java, we have to write an as this statement scanner equal new scanner, and inside parentheses we're gonna system.in. Okay, and don't forget semicolon. We are in Java. This what mean we can instantiate object from a scanner, and for sure it's already imported library called java.util.scanner, but automatic. This is a magic of VS Code. When you write something and you forget to import the library, it's gonna be automatic. Okay, we can rename the object any name you want. I gonna, for example, it's input. Okay, it's erroring here. No, don't worry about that. It's not an error. It's tell us that they're missing for exception handling. We're gonna talk about exception handling, but not now. And now I want to receive three numbers from the user, integer. So to receive number from the user as in integer format, I'm gonna initialize the variables. For example, in num1 equal input dot next int. Okay, for num2 the same thing. and for num2 and num3. Okay, and now I want to write a program in Java to select the maximum number between three numbers. What should I write? The next the next step, I should make a comparison, right? In if condition. How can I do that? By if. If what? If num1 greater than num2, right? In Python, we was writing and. In Java, it's and. Okay? And num1 is greater than num3. That tell us what? That mean num1 is the maximum number, right? So system for printing dot out dot print line or print for print line, and we're gonna print num1 is the max. Okay, and what else? We're gonna if num1 is not greater than num2 or num1 is not greater than num3. What's that mean? If that true, num1 is greater than num2 and num1 greater than num3, that means num1 is max. Otherwise, it cannot be num2 is the max or num3. So we need to ask another question. Okay, how we could do else if in Java? Else if. Okay, and ask num2 greater than num3. If that true, we're gonna print what? We're gonna print what? Num3, num2 is the max. Okay. Otherwise, we're gonna continue that num3 is the max. It's a simple program in Java that we tested by the numbers, the maximum number between three numbers. Okay, that's clear. Is that clear for all? Until now, if anybody have a question, anybody responds to me.
I
Okay,
have a question.
okay,
Why should we put the X
and
in the system out
uh, raise your voice. I can hear.
in the system out println? Why should we put an X after the bracket?
It's not it's a highlighted. It's not a value. If I press here, it's a automatic by the framework VS Code. It's not written. It's like a comment. Okay, so
But we don't write.
we don't write. It's automatic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's a tell me it's
Yes.
a placeholder, like a placeholder. Place your code here, and it's not accessible or not written by us. Okay, is that clear? Okay, if I want to convert this program in function, I put this code in function. What should I do? If I want to convert our code in a function, where I could put my function. What is the place that I should write my function that select my maximum number between three numbers? Could anybody tell me? You know, in Python, we know that our methods or function could be written here, above the main, or down the main, right? Okay, I'm gonna write my method, public, static, and I want the method to return the maximum numbers, okay, between three numbers. So we have to return which data type in integer. So public static int maximum. And what is the parameter here? What should I write parameter for our function to select the maximum numbers between three numbers? I could see some question. Let in. Could anybody tell me what is the parameter here?
Isn't max should be capitalized? The M?
No, 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 no. It's not our. It's not our problem here. I talk about maximum. Look. For convenient name, the class should be in capital letter. But it's okay if you write in small letter. It can't be an error. But for convenient names, it should be for class begin with capital letter. But here, this what called this called method signature. Okay, this is a method signature. Okay, and what is the parameter here? It should be contain three integer number, right? Like int x, int y, and z. Okay, okay, and I put my whole code here. Control X and Control V. Okay, and I want convert. If I want to let it the same num1 num2, it's okay. We can make num1 num2 num3. What's the error here? Could anybody tell me what's the error here? I want to print. No printing. We don't need printing here. We need to return a value. Okay, so return here num1. Okay, and here we can return num2, right? And here we're gonna return what? So now it's okay. And now, what should I write here in the main? I should call our method. Like I should initialize variable called max and call my method what? Max and put num1, num2, num3. Perfect. And I'm gonna print system dot out dot print line the max num is. I'm gonna to make string concatenation. I'm gonna make plus and put max. Okay, I'm gonna leave here. Okay, and
Professor,
okay,
why did you remove the code and you put it outside the main method,
okay,
like
because I
the
need
if statements?
because I need my code in a function to be more easily. Okay, the first
So
so it's
outside the main method is the function, right?
yeah. Above the main method or down the main method, it's be like a function. So I gonna call it by max, and it wanna continue to matching the max function. The same thing, but with using function. Because now in a
Okay,
function
Professor.
programming, we now in a function programming. Okay, so I need to
Okay,
make
Professor.
I need to make my code easy here. Not much line of codes in the main methods. I need my code to be more semi-organized. Okay, so it's clear now. Okay, so if I run our
Professor,
program, Okay, ask.
Some students are saying the meeting is locked. They want to join.
Okay. Let me. Uh, how it looked. It's limited, I think, with only. They can join now. I don't. I didn't. It's okay. Okay. I'm now. If everyone will enter, I can let him to enter. No problem.
Thank you, Prof.
Right. Now, if I run my program and run without debugging, I will enter the three numbers for 10, 9, 7, and the maximum number is what? 10. Is there guarantee that num1 and num2 and num3 is associated to maximum function? No, no. Could anybody tell me? Is there any syntax that tell me, oh, num1 and num2 and num3 is for only maximum function? Is there any language tell me that's for maximum? There is no guarantee that num1 and num2 and num3 is only for maximum. Okay, because no programming or no syntax in our code that tell us that is num1 and num2 and num3 is related to for max. For if I want to call my max, I should only put num1, num2, num3. There is no guarantee for that. Okay, so this because we use structured programming, right? We when we use structured programming, our code will be like spaghetti code. If I want to make like maximum minimum number, okay, int minimum equal minimum, and I can put num1, num2, num3, okay, and again I gonna make like minimum number minimum methods and write our function and call it again, okay. But you can see that num1 is once for max and once for mini, and there is no guarantee that num1 is only for max or only for minimum. Okay, this is a big problem. It's a big problem for our developer. It's make a headache because our code is like a spaghetti. Okay, it's something like you are a student and are a worker and you are in many roles, and that's not be good practice. So we need to organize more and more for our code. How can I convert that code in object-oriented programming? Okay, for sure. Okay, how can I do that? Can anybody tell me? Okay, to do that, it seems thing like math dot you know class mass, okay, mass and write mass, and you can see what's the cube mean it's a public method. So I wanna convert my code to be like the mass operation mass class. How can I do that? Very easy. In the source file, I'm gonna write and press new file, and what's the name of my class? Like operation dot java. Okay, so my class name now operation. Okay, so what should I write now? Could anybody help me? No answering. I will.
Should you import
I
math?
I no here no, we cannot put here main method. Okay, because I see a lot of you put two main methods. No, we don't need any main method. We need to define data type. We need to define another class called operation. And what is the data that the class operation should contain? For any class, it should contain data, which is called instance variables, and should contain function only, okay? And for sure, constructor for default initialization, okay? So, what is the data should the class operation contain for select maximum number between three numbers or minimum number between three numbers? I talked about the instance variables. What are instance variable should put here? What? No answering?
Num1, num2.
Num1, num2, num3. Perfect. Oh, some Abdurrahman asking about what instance variables. Okay, what's the difference between local variables and instance variables? Okay, in our program, what is called is a local variable. Okay, because it's a local inside the main function. But when I define class operation and each variable defined in this place will called instance variables because it will be related to the class operation. That's now it's why the difference between is the instance same as global? No. Global is global for the whole project, but instance variable is related to operation to its class only. So if I put here int num1, int num2, and int num3. So our variable now it's instance for operation class. Okay, but for our programming to make sure that we write good and stable code, we should define our instance variable as a private instance variable. Here private integer, here private, and here private. Okay, could anybody tell me why I should initialize our data members as a private? Why I use private? Anybody tell me why we're using private? Okay, we're using private for our instance variable because we need to restrict our code from outside using. Okay, for example, for ATM machine. Okay, if you are using your card um insert your card in the ATM machine, you can see your information like your name, your balance. Okay, but you cannot modify directly to your personal information or your balance. Okay, because this field are private, but you can access only your balance or make any modification for your balance by its public method. You can modify balance by adding amount by a function called deposit, and you can modify your balance by subtraction amount by withdraw method. Okay, but you cannot direct access to your balance for modification. Okay, so you only can access your balance by public method. The same thing here. It's the first concept in object oriented called encapsulation. What is the meaning of encapsulation? We put our data in capsule. Okay, so no one can know what is inside capsule. He only takes the capsule. Okay, because he need to benefit from the capsule. Okay, so it's the same thing is data hiding. We hiding our data. Okay, and allow only user to use our public method. Okay, you now understand why we gonna initialize our data as a private. It's clear. Okay, so how can I set numbers or I get numbers by provide get and setter? Okay, I can make it easily here in VS Code by press on num1 and generate get and set. It will be automatic. Get and set is a public method. Okay, public methods for set number and get number. Okay, the same thing for num2, the same thing for num3. Okay, now I want initialize what? My function that tell me that I want to select maximum number between three numbers. Okay, I can make something like that. This my number, this my maximum function inside my class operation. Okay, and now it's my function contain num1, num2, num3. Okay, and now it's gonna select the maximum number between three numbers for all parts in 5. Oh, we have limited in our meeting. Okay, I think it's okay. We're gonna finish this example, and now my program have instance variables and have the public method in our code. Okay, if I want to call my class operation, what should I write? For easily, I should make something like that. Operation op equal new operation. Okay, and then I gonna set my number. Okay, op dot set num1 and will be contain num1 that I get. I'm gonna receive from the user this for num1 and for num2 op dot set num but set num2 and for last thing op dot set num3 and that. So num1 it will contain the number that enter by the user, and num2 gonna contain the number that enter by the user, and num3 also gonna contain the value that enter by the user. And what next? I'm gonna make call the method op dot maximum and put num1, num2, num3. It will return a result, right? Because our function it return integer. So I should receive the return value for int max equal. Okay, but
Professor,
okay, we can remove a static because we don't need a static. We're gonna talk about static in future lessons. Okay, ask. Yes, I'm hear you.
I think someone's trying to get into the meeting.
As they try to enter the meeting, right? Ah, okay. So now I have
Okay, sir.
yeah, I'm here.
Why do we have two files? Like
What?
one for operation, one for that. Why do we have two files? Like changing the files.
Two files?
Yeah, two
Yeah,
class, right? Operation and Java.
yeah. Okay. This I can put I can put my class operation in the same file. Okay, above the class app. But for good practice to be more organized, okay, you have to separate each class, and you can only call the class inside the main method. Okay, for organize
Yeah.
your code, you should separate each class for separate file. The same thing like your lab. Okay, I can make all labs in one thing, in one hole, in the hub. Okay, but for more organized, I'm gonna separate lab 1, lab 2, lab 3, lab 4, right?
Okay.
It can be work, okay? It can be work perfect, but no organization. It's gonna be so crowded, so data inside one file. So to be more organized, you're gonna separate each class file, which each class with separate file. Okay? Don't put all things inside the main class. let the main class for only calling. Okay, is that clear for you? So now max contains the maximum number between three numbers, or I can make something like that. System dot out dot print. Okay, and gonna put this line here. So now our program, it's operation.max. What's the meaning of operation? It's an object from class operation. Okay.